Some of the problems we're starting to see pop up in our cornfields. The last couple of weeks, we've really seen some of our corn plants die very quickly. And as you can see, the plant on my left is very brown, and it's in comparison to the very green one next door. They're exactly the same hybrid, one row apart from each other, and it's the beginnings of a Crownrot that's really stopped the flow of nutrition, and it's made for a lot less yield. And we're seeing some of these fields or parts of fields turn brown like this. We need to check those for Crownrot. Go out there, dig the plant, and do just what I did. Split this open and look for this brown area. Should be a nice white, would be the ideal. When we've got this brown, it means that the whole plant has been compromised, and it's still got some a decent here on it, but it's been probably cut in half on its yield. But even more alarming, it'll be a real issue to try and harvest before it falls over the next windstorm. So it'll really be a problem there. This Crownrot, one of the things to understand about it, it's something that's probably not driven by any specific hybrid. There's no real resistance to Crownrot. Crownrot started in this corn plant back when it was 2-leaf to about 6-leaf. There's a disease called fusarium that moves into that crown, into that new root, and when the corn plant's stressed, it can't resist that fusarium and allows the disease in. As you can see, the disease comes from, a lot of times, old residue, but it can be in cornfields or corn on soybeans. So it's not totally just driven off of the residue. It has the ability to move around. This corn plant, like I say, it probably got that at that 2-leaf to 5-leaf stage. So we need to think about that area as when the plant was stressed and allowed that fusarium disease in there to create that. At this time in our plot trials here, this plant was treated, had some sulfur, zinc, manganese at planting time, and it allowed it to withstand that fusarium. Much healthier, didn't have any stress on the leaves. So when we were out scouting the fields when they were 2-leaf to about 5-6 leaf, which would be about knee high, we started seeing yellow spots or striping in the leaves, and that was a lot of micronutrient deficiencies. And it looks like the micronutrients are the ones that are responsible for reducing the stress and not allowing this disease to move in. And it's going to make a huge impact on our yield. So this coming year, as we think about how do we deal with this in the future, it's really going to be to try and put down some type of sulfur at plant or shortly thereafter. Provide some zinc if possible. And the other possibility that could have stopped this would have been a V5, or excuse me, a fungicide in furrow. If you would have put fungicide in with like a starter and put like Quadras or Headline or one of the products in furrow, that would have stopped this fusarium to get into that plant, and could have been also an answer. At V5, it's really too late in most cases generally to really do any good. So a V5 application with your post herbicides is not really going to be a good way to stop this. So please go out, check your fields, look for dead plants and dig those up, and it'll give you a good idea of how much possibility you might have for this Crownrot. And think about putting down some kind of a sulfur at plant to really reduce it next year. That's been one of the things that we're seeing in our side-by-side trials here out at Plains.